Everyone in business wants to get their message out into the world, and I know you do too. You want to be well known and as a result well paid, and you want more credibility and visibility so your ideal clients and those amazing opportunities find you. But how do you do that? How do you step onto a bigger platform so you can shout your message from the rooftops and not burn yourself out by whispering to every single person you meet? Today's guest on the Hot and Healthy in Business show is Morgan Spencer, who is best known for her ability to amplify messages in strategic, creative and compelling ways and craft a story that not only the media want to write about, but one that people want to read about. Now, she may be young, but this little firecracker has certainly done the hard yards in her industry, as you're about to find out. To the show.
Thanks, Nicole. It's awesome to be here. I tell you what, it's a little bit fun because I'm not usually on this side of the camera. I'm always on the other side of the camera, prepping clients for this. So yeah, it's a bit of fun today being here talking about one of my favourite topics. So thanks for having me.
Great. I'm so glad you're here because I have a question for you.
Sure.
What is PR exactly? What is it?
So PR is actually defined as the strategic communication process between an individual, organisation, product or brand and their publics. So basically what that means is a PR person comes in, or the PR process is to manage those key messages between an organisation and the public. So the publics being their audience, their customers, their shareholders and the media landscape.
Wow. It sounds a lot more technical or complex than I thought it was. I
Yeah.
thought publicity was just getting a couple of interviews in a magazine, maybe get on the radio a little bit, but it's actually a little bit more than that.
Yeah, there's a little bit more to it than that, and publicity in itself is a tactic of public relations. So public relations is the overarching strategy of what PR is, and then tactics fall under that. So you've got things like publicity and media relations, you've got events, you've got speaking, you've got awards, you've got collaborations, you've got a number of things that fall into that whole PR banner. So as a PR person, I come in and I build an overarching strategy for that organisation or that brand, and we work out basically a strategy that's going to get them and their message out to their publics in the most strategic and effective way, and that's achieved in a number of ways, and publicity is one of those things. But I think when people hear the word PR, they just think, oh, that's as many media hits as I can get. So I think there's a little bit of education, I think, still needed there about how it can be achieved in the most effective way for a business. And it's different for every business as well. Every business is in a different life cycle. Every business has different objectives and goals that they want to meet. So it's different for everyone. Not any of my clients all have different strategies.
So it isn't so much about getting lots of hits. What is it really about?
It's about being seen in the right places at the right time and following a strategic plan. So not necessarily saying that you have to only focus on the high level strategy, but focusing on a plan and a goal that's important to your business in that particular time. Obviously, every business is at a different stage. There's different cycles of business, and I'm not saying a startup should be focusing on the stage that a 5-year business would be focusing on. So for example, if getting more website traction and awareness on your business, then maybe focusing on online PR that's going to bring you back those conversions for SEO may be a good strategy to have. If you're wanting to get into more speaking and awards, how can you leverage those opportunities through high quality media outlets? And I would focus on that. I'd really stress that it's about quality over quantity. So getting you seen in 10 publications, if they're the wrong opportunity, it's not really going to give you the result that you're looking for. So that is always my advice and strategy to other people, really working out what your goal is, working out what your message is, and what's the best way that we can achieve that for you, and then creating a strategy around that.
And is that what you do with your clients? So someone who's in a small business, maybe 1 to 3 years in business, saying, well, I know what I want, I know my target audience, or do they come to you to help get that worked out for them? Who's my target audience? How am I going to reach them?
A little bit of both, actually. So usually work with people between the 2 and the 6 year mark. And some people are really clear on their message and they come to me because they know that PR is really important, but they're not sure how to go about it, and they know that they can spend constant hours and time working it out for themselves, so they can work with an expert like me to help them. Or I have people come to me who feel stuck with their message. They know that their message is powerful. They know that their business can offer a lot, but they're not really sure if they should go down marketing, advertising, or the PR route. And on that, just to break that down a little bit, so marketing and advertising is a a fixed cost and it's paid media.
Mm-hmm.
PR is earned media, and that's achieved through persuasion. So persuasive persuasion. So PR has always been my go-to, and it's always been a lot more valuable to a business, given that as well. So when it comes to an ad, you're essentially selling a brochure. It's a brochure, it's a product, it's an event, it's something very specific that you're selling. PR is a story. So it gives you the opportunity to really go deep into that person, into that message that you're promoting. So both serve a purpose in business, but both different.
Do you see sort of an overlap and maybe a blend between the two of them now? There's so much video marketing and authenticity and engagement through videos on Facebook, and then those videos that, I guess, publicity, as I would describe it, is around that they boost it and do advertising campaigns and marketing and paid advertising to push that message out. Is there an overlap there?
There is definitely an overlap, and with the rise of digital and social over the last sort of 5 to 10 years, there has been a lot of overlap there with a lot of online publications now. So as a PR person, we're now monitoring like so many news sites daily than what we were in the past, and there was just a traditional media sense. And social media is part of a PR strategy, and it is part of a PR campaign, and sort of marketing and PR messages sort of intertwined together, but there is still a very clear difference between the two. So I try and work with clients to really help them understand the benefits of both and how they sort of work together, and having a strategic core message around that is focused on social media, SEO, content marketing. Video is huge as well. And opportunities like that. I've got a couple of clients who speak regularly, they're coaches, and they're amazing on video. And that's always been a part of like our pitching process to the media. So the more that they can see about them, the more they can sort of feel their message. So you can really feel the authenticity of someone through video, as you know. So very important, and they both have a place in business, and they're both sort of are intertwined together as well, but they're also very different as well.
And so how did you get into this? Have you always been in publicity? I mean, is there a publicity school that people go to? How did you get to where you are now?
I actually started off in marketing. I started a business degree straight out of school, and started working in marketing. I discovered that I hated maths, hated numbers, and my business degree was basically accounting, economics, stats, all of that I just hated. And I started working in marketing and just wasn't, I really enjoyed it, but I knew there was something else like missing. I hadn't really found my thing. And I ended up back at uni. I did a PR degree, and I travelled over and lived in America for a year working with PRSA, which is the Public Relations Institute in America, and worked over there for a bit, and like just found my core. Like PR has always been my thing. I love people, I love storytelling, I love opportunities, and I love just working with people to get those messages out there. And then, I've been in PR for about 8 years. So agency background. I came from a consumer lifestyle background. So working with a lot of hospitality brands, restaurants, products, a lot of events.
Any brands or events you want to name drop here?
Well, I will tell you something. I've actually met Oprah, which is very exciting.
I'm this close to Oprah.
So we were looking after a product at an agency. I worked in Sydney, and we were collaborated with Camilla Franks, who is Oprah's BFF, everyone, in case you don't know.
Okay.
So that was probably a career highlight for me. Massive Oprah fangirl over here. And I had to keep my cool as a PR person.
How did you do that?
I had to keep my cool, but I have to say she is fabulous. She's probably the most down-to-earth famous person. And yeah, she's just wonderful. Like she's just one of these people that you meet and you just are in complete awe of her. And so she was amazing. So that was a great experience. I've also worked a lot of like leading restaurants in Sydney, so Opera Bar, and some of those big restaurants in Sydney as well. So a bit of a mix. And then I sort of went into TV actually. Worked for Channel 7 for a little bit. So that was exciting. And then sort of got the opportunity to start my business. So I've been doing that for the last 2.5 years. What
was the catalyst for you to leave corporate and agency and go and share in small business?
I didn't enjoy my corporate role. not so much I didn't enjoy the work that I was doing. I didn't like the culture, and I didn't like, I wasn't happy. And I became quite disconnected with what I was doing, and I was really looking for that creative outlet outside of work. So I started writing, and I started doing a little bit of blogging here and there, and I had a few agencies contact me for freelance work, and then before I knew it, I had 3 agencies that wanted to outsource work to me. And then I thought, well, I can't do this and work, but my passion here is doing this other work that I enjoy doing. So I sort of took a leap of faith and thought, I'm just going to give it a go. If it doesn't work out, don't have to continue. I can always get a job. And then funnily enough, I left my job, and I was sort of headhunted through LinkedIn for a few positions, and didn't even go to the interview. Like I remember waking up that day and thinking, there's no part of me that even wants me to go to this job interview. So I sort of knew then. And then from there, I had a few clients come on board, and then a few more clients come on board, and it all sort of started organically like that. So I didn't really set out to start a business as such.
You didn't have strategic PR for your own business. It just happened organically.
Yeah, so it really happened organically, which was awesome. But never looked back. And I think I've sort of, what I've learnt in agency around PR and what it is, I've sort of taken what works and sort of changed what I think didn't work. So I've really made my business about people and connections, and I really value relationships in my business, and working really closely with people. I only take on a certain amount of retainer clients at once, so that I can really make sure that I'm really getting to know my clients and really offering that personalised service to them. So and PR is quite a hectic space to be in as well, so don't want to spread myself too thin, but I have a PR team around me now, which is great. So we service clients in the UK and New Zealand, and going into the US, so yeah.
And Australia.
Yes, and obviously Australia as well. So yeah, that's really exciting, and I've got a marketing team around me now, and yeah, after 2.5 years of working really hard, it's sort of, I'm in a good place. Yeah.
Right. And so what was the lifestyle like when you were working for corporations and agencies?
Very hectic. So my day started about 5 a.m. I'd wake up, check the news, get into work by about 7, and then it would be non-stop throughout the day, a range of media pitching, meeting with journalists, media packs, events. We'd often go from work to an event where we just have to manage the whole event, then would basically go home and back at work the next day. So events could go from 1 to 2 o'clock in the morning, and back at work again at 7 the next day. Very fast paced, very challenging, and a lot to manage in any given day. So yeah, it was very challenging, but it's just the nature of the job. But there's a couple of things about working in PR agency that I didn't sort of resonate with me. So there was a huge emphasis on things that we needed to do that weren't really benefiting the client or the organisation. So a lot of emphasis on big reports, a lot of emphasis on billable hours, which is a whole nother conversation.
Right.
And things like that. And I was really burnt out. Like, I know this sounds a little bit traumatic, but I think my last job nearly cured me. So I developed really bad stress, really bad anxiety, the need to sort of always be on constantly, like the fear of, if I don't check my email, this is going to happen. If I don't check Twitter, this is going to happen. And you go through your life living in that sort of state of always having to be connected. So I really try and manage that now.
And how is life different now?
I set clear boundaries now. It's always going to be one of those jobs that requires me to be on a lot of the time. Like, I still need to be available to clients in the media. I still need to be checking news throughout the day, weekends, after hours, that kind of thing. It's not so much a 9-to-5 job, but I try and have clear and healthy boundaries. And you can't be on all the time as well.
You can't be on all the time.
And
you do need to switch off and reboot.
Exactly. And it's even now, like, it's something that I practice. I still haven't mastered the whole non-burnout strategy. There's still things that I'm learning along the way to help me master that. And I think it's different for everyone. And I think self-care is different for each and everyone. So I try and set boundaries for myself and find a routine that suits me and a lifestyle that suits me, and working with people that I want to work with too, because you do have that choice. Yeah. You know, when you're self-employed, like, you don't have to take on people that you don't want to work with and things like that. So.
And noticing where your energy flows when you're working with particular types of clients. It might be an industry, it might be a type of business owner, it might be a type of goal that they're wanting to achieve. You can make those choices when you're in your own business.
Yeah, absolutely. And I really do love the work that I'm in. So when I choose to work outside of hours, or I choose to sit on the couch at night and troll through Twitter and news and things like that, it's because I want to do it. Like, I want to do that, and I want to be kept up to date. I want to keep up to date with what's happening for my clients. But I still try and manage it. And my clients are great too. They know that they can contact me anytime and I'll always be there. But we've got a really good relationship as well, which I think is a really important thing, to have really good relationships with the people that you work with. And going back to PR again, I think that's something that small business owners need to keep in mind too. Like, when engaging a PR person, it's really good to have that open, honest relationship. And the more that we can get out of you, the more that we know about you, the better. And the closer we work together, the better as well, because that's going to mean that we just have the nugget of your story and can create these opportunities for you as well. So
I love that. So if I'm thinking about the whole burnout and overwhelm, and for small business owners in particular needing to be everywhere and be seen everywhere over so many different platforms all the time, how can strategic PR help them avoid burnout and be seen in the right places?
So in relation to that, with clients getting burnout, I think the most important thing is that they're outsourcing it to an expert. So by working with me, they don't have to worry. They don't have to worry about, do I need to pitch this to this person? Do I need to contact this? What do I do about this? Like, they've got that peace of mind knowing that they can focus on their business and what they're great at, and their energy there. And I'm focusing on that for them as well. And I think just that's what makes a good team too. And I think that's really important. I'm the same. Like, I outsource things that I don't want to do, and it's so good having that peace of mind and things that I couldn't think of anything worse than doing my books or doing some admin tasks that I just outsource. And I'm a really big on outsourcing. So
me too.
Yeah, I think it's really important to do that. So I think when it comes to burnout for clients, if you have your hand in a million pies, you're doing everything, you're not going to be doing anything well, or you can't really offer that energy to the work that you're doing and the clients that you're working with as well. So I think that's really important.
For myself, having been in business for 8 years, I've spent a lot of money on marketing and PR that didn't work. Yeah, as you said right in the beginning, if you're being seen in the wrong places, you're not going to have the impact with the clients that you want to have, and your business isn't going to grow, and then you're going to stretch yourself too thin and you'll burn out. So I think it's really, really important to work with a professional like yourself, who's got the expertise, who knows the voice and the message and knows exactly where to place it in the right format, at the right time, in the right way, that the right ears and eyes see it and it converts into a conversation or a sale. I think that's essential, because in small business we have limited resources, time, money and expertise. We can't do it all, and we need to make sure we're investing in the right experts to help us make sure that our message gets right in front of our customer, right when the customer needs to know about us and can take advantage of what we're offering.
Absolutely.
It's so important.
Yes, definitely.
So who would you recommend doesn't come and get PR?
Obviously PR is an investment to any business, and obviously you need to sort of be at a certain stage in your business where you've got the resources, time and money to sort of invest in PR. There are things that you can do when you are in a startup phase that really help benefit you longer down the track when you are ready to invest in PR. So for example, if you are a startup and you're not ready to invest in PR, I would really focus on relationships. So relationships that you can build with your business networks, the media, other people that you sort of meet. Because when it comes down to it, PR is relationships. And I see this all the time. I come across coaches and consultants, because I mainly work with them, and they don't practice what they preach at all. And I think that's something to really think about, because PR in itself is reputation management. So if you're a coach or a consultant and you're telling all your clients this is what you need to do, but you're not doing it yourself, your publics will notice that, and they will form an opinion of you based on that. So I think it's really important to sort of focus on the small things that you can be doing. But usually between 2 and 5 years is a really good time to sort of start off. And I know that a lot of people try and manage their own PR in the early stages as well. And there's lots of great resources around that. And I do help a lot of startups in that space as well. So
even if somebody's not sure they're ready for PR, or they're brand new out of the gates in their business, or they're even thinking about getting into a business, they should still come and see you?
I think so. I think it's definitely worthwhile, and it's a really cost-effective marketing tool. Like even at the beginning, like it's if you know how to do it well and you're successful, it's essentially free marketing. So yeah, it's a really awesome tool. I think another good point as well is you have to be prepared to work with someone ongoing and have trust in that person as well. So if you don't have the time to invest that time into working with someone on your PR strategy, like if you're too tied up in other things, that may not be the best time, as well, as you need to sort of be available to, especially in the early stages as well of a PR strategy.
And is PR overnight?
No.
Okay.
We'll go back to the definition again, which is strategic communication process. So emphasis on process.
Okay. And in terms of somebody who's in small business at the moment, what would you like to leave them with as one key message from you to them?
I think an important message to remember is to stay in your own lane when it comes to business and not focus on your competitors. You have a nugget of gold about you, and you have your genius zone. I think it's really important to focus on that. Don't look at what your competitors are doing and don't draw inspiration from that. Draw inspiration from yourself and draw on what you can offer other people and what you can offer your customers. And I think staying in your lane is really important. I think too many people try and be everything and do everything and be everywhere, which I think leads to burnout. So I think really focusing on yourself and what you're doing is really important. And I'm the same with what I do. I know there's a lot of PRs out there and everyone's got their way of doing things, and I really try and focus on what I do. So
awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Nicole.
It's such a pleasure having you on the show.
Thanks for having me. It's been awesome.
To learn more about how to create your own hot and healthy life, join our private Facebook group where experts share mind, body and business tips each week so you burn bright, not out. If you like this episode, make sure you hit the subscribe button and go and check out all our other videos. I'll see you in the next one.